houseplant lovers, welcome back to Millennial Planter. I'm Marina, and if you're new here, hi, hello, how you doing? I hope you stick around and hit the subscribe button because on this channel I talk about houseplants, both the good and the ugly. But today is a really exciting video because I am sharing my philodendron collection. Philodendrons are quite easily my second favorite genus, and I have a lot of them. And I want to showcase them and show you all because I don't show them all. And this is just another way of me documenting their growth because I would love to look back on this video in like 6 months time and see how much they have grown. And yeah, let's just get on started. So as far as the care go for philodendron, I don't like to let them dry out completely. I say if you take the pot and just imagine it being dry about 80%, that's about how much I let it dry out. Don't get me wrong though, sometimes I do miss waterings and the pot completely dries out, but just as long as you don't do that too often, they're usually okay. As far as humidity, philodendrons do like humidity. I would say at least 50% or higher, because if you go below that, they will start getting their leaves stuck. And when the leaves come out, they get a little bit torn and it's just not the prettiest. It happens, but if you want to prevent that, definitely try to keep the humidity above 50%. That's pretty much how I take care of all my philodendrons. And first here, we have one of my newest. It is the Philodendron CAMPOSPORTOANUM. I hope I said that right. This plant is a morphing philodendron. Oh, and as you can see there, it has a new leaf that's unfurling. Leaf is a super morphing leaf, like a Power Ranger, you know, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This plant is kind of velvety now. It's similar to a Micans, and the leaves even have a slight iridescentness to them, so they do shine, and I wish I could pick it up on camera. I've tried so hard and it is impossible, but yeah, and as they mature, they actually kind of get ears and they lose that velvetyness, and I cannot wait to see that morph happen and to see what it'll look like in hopefully maybe a year's time if I give it something good to grow on. The next two are actually philodendrons I got from my good friend Sydney over at Peaceful Planting, and that is this Philodendron SUBHASTUM, and as you could see in the light, you could already see that redness to it. But on the back, they have red backs, which is just so cool. Look at that. It's incredible. As you could see, it has a torn leaf here, and that is just from me letting it dry out too much. Way more than it likes to be while it was coming out with a new leaf. So it does have a new leaf forming here. There's a little nubbin showing. I just have to keep in my mind to water it and not let it dry out so much so that the new leaf could come in nice and not ripped. And then here we have the Philodendron RADIATUM, which is such a cool philodendron. As you can see, the leaf shape is just insane. It's one of my favorite leaf shapes because it just kind of mixes it up in your collection, and it reminds me a lot of the Philodendron Maui. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, but this is a really cool one, and this one's also coming out with a new leaf, so I can't wait to see what that looks like, and I can't wait to get these leaves nice and big and just very jungly. Here we have the beautiful Philodendron Ghost. I think this one is in my top 5 favorite philodendrons. As you could see, this leaf here is a mint green. The rumor is that if you give this plant more light, the whiter the leaf will be. And this is the second newest leaf in my care, and it is a lot lighter than the previous leaf. So I have hope that in a couple more, it'll be a true white. But these Fordo Ghosts come in this beautiful creamy, or mostly beautiful color, lime color here. It does turn white like I said, and then over time they just fade and darken up, which I think is so cool. And it's just nice to have that pop of color every time, and I love the philodendrons that do this, that come in with like orange leaves or cream leaves, and then they just fade over time. It's just really pretty to see. Another plant that has that cool color changing effect is this black cardinal. So in the light, the leaves are very dark for a screen, but when you look at them, they're almost a black color. I actually shared this plant on my spookiest plants for a little Halloween special. The new leaf will come out a slightly orange color. It's like a dark orange, not really a bright orange, and it'll fade to this green over time. And every time this comes out with a new leaf, I can't stop staring at it because that orange just pops so much in your face. It's really cool. Another upright growing philodendron I have is this philodendron lemon lime, or maybe I think it's called a golden goddess now. I'm pretty sure those are the same. This one was sent to me by one of my good friends. It was a little bit on the struggle bus because it stayed in the mail longer than it should have, but the leaves are coming out great and it'll be a real stunner in a few months. I really just love this lime green color in plants. Some trailing philodendrons I have are this lemon lime philodendron, which is one of my top favorites. Once again, I love the trailing philodendrons and I love this lemon lime color. It's just a nice pop to add, especially in dark corners, because these philodendron do pretty well in dark corners. And then I also have this philodendron micans. As you can see, it has gotten quite long. I'm working on propagating it and cutting it up to get some more action at the top and make it look more fuller. But this is a cool one because it has very soft, very velvety, slightly iridescent leaves. And then if you give them a lot of sun, they will get kind of almost a red backing to them. A very cool plant. The next two trailing plants I have is this Philodendron Brazil and the Philodendron cordatum or Philodendron green. I don't know. The name is Philodendron HEDERACEUM, and this is just the regular green one, the most commonly found one, and definitely one of my #1 favorites. I might have a few #1 favorites, but I love it. It's such a pretty green and the leaves are super smooth, and as you can see, this Brazil here is a mix of this green one and then that lemon lime one that I showed you. And yeah, they're just so pretty. I could have multiple of these, really, honestly. Next, we have this huge Philodendron Pastizanum, or as I like to call him, Pesto. This philodendron I actually got from Ecuagenera and it is doing amazing. It does have some damage on the leaves. I did go through a case of thrips with it, and I will link that video up above if you want to hear about that. But despite battling thrips, it still has 2 new growth points coming out right here and right here. And considering that these were the newest leaves, look at how big that is. Considering these are the newest leaves, I'm excited to see how big these leaves get. I can't wait. My other huge philodendron is this Philodendron Mexicanum, and I do have it on a moss pole, as you can see, just so it could eventually wrap itself around and get bigger leaves. But this is that beauty here. Oh my word, look at that. It's so shiny and big, and the backs get a slight purplish color to them if you give them enough light, which mine aren't really that purple. This is its newest leaf and it's so cute. It is a little bit smaller than the previous leaf, but that's okay. I'm excited that it has a new leaf. Oh, and I just noticed this one. You guys see? Oh, I hope you can see that. It's a little tiny new one. Wow, this plant grows like crazy, and just look at that. I'm obsessed. Literally obsessed. Take a shot every time I say obsessed. I have these little babes, which is a Philodendron BRANDTIANUM, which you all know that I have been on the struggle bus with, but I feel like it's on the up and up. I did cut it to send to a friend, but it's doing great. And then here we have the Philodendron BIRKIN. With the Philodendron BIRKIN, the leaves come out with this white striping to them. I hope you all can see that. And then over time they fade to a regular green, but also a juvenile philodendron, so like a little baby philodendron won't have the white until it has a couple leaves come out. It does need to be a little bit older before it gets some white to its leaves. At least that's what I've noticed. So yeah, but that is what the leaves look like. And like those are the backs. Very cool, very cute plant. Then I have the Philodendron BURLE Marx and the variegated form. So here's the regular Philodendron burl Marx, and it's very horse looking. It has the ears to it. It's just a classic Philodendron look, and the variegated form has this lime green, almost yellow coloring to it. And this variegation is super unstable and super random. As you can see, it puts out variegated leaves all the time, and then non-variegated leaves. It'll put out like 3 non-variegated leaves at once, and then the next 3 ones will be variegated. So the variegation is definitely all over the place. Another trailing philodendron I have is this Philodendron Rio, and it is similar to the Brazil, but that color is more of a cream rather than a yellow lime like in the Brazil. Yeah, but as you can see, it's getting loads of sunlight, so the leaves are turning out very lime, but this is kind of what the leaves usually look like. Almost look like they're painted. It's very pretty, and I definitely need to move it further away so it could get more of that dark green foliage in it. Here we have the Philodendron Silver Sword. I'll forever be thankful to my friend Bree for sending me this plant. I wanted this plant for the longest, but just couldn't stomach spending the money that it was going for. And she was sweet enough to send me one for my birthday, and I can't stop staring at it. It has another new leaf coming in, and as you can see, the leaves are just a silver iridescent, really pretty color. And the new leaves come out super shiny. It's incredible, and I really can't wait to have a big one of this and just to watch it grow bigger. Next here is the Philodendron PEDATUM, and this is another type of morphing Power Ranger-esque leaf, because you could see this is what the baby leaves will look like. Sometimes they won't even have the ears, and then over time, they morph and they start looking like this, which is so cool. And I mean, even as they get bigger, the leaf will look different than this. So it is such a cool philodendron, and I love it so much, and I may or may not have named it Mushu. And the next 2 types of philodendron I'm going to show you are my last 2, at least that I can think of in my collection. And not only are they my top 2 favorite philodendrons, they're definitely my top wish list plants for so long, and I still can't believe I have them in my collection. But here I have the Philodendron burl Marx Fantasy, and I know they don't look like much now, but I successfully propagated this one. I had this as basically a long vine, and I just chopped it in half, and I propagated it, and I heard a lot about these plants being kind of finicky and huge humidity hose. So I was very nervous to have these and care for them because they're so tiny. And I feel like tiny plants can go very wrong very fast. And so yeah, not only did I propagate them, but I also have grown leaves on them, which is incredible. It just reassures in my head that, you know, I'm doing something right. And yeah, so I cannot wait to see these leaves grow big. That is just gonna be so exciting. And the last philodendron on my list, and my #1 favorite philodendron, is the Philodendron VERRUCOSUM. And can you even handle that? I hope I can show this okay, but this leaf here has that beautiful veining to it. You could see the red poking through the green. The back of it has a very beautiful red backing, the only type of red bottoms I could afford. And it also, which is kind of a deal breaker for some people, but it has hairy stems on it. I mean, what even? I can't. This is a new leaf coming out right there at the top. And then I also have a new leaf here. I have 3 different VERRUCOSUMs potted in here, or 3 different plants. I don't know if there are 3 different varieties, because there are a few different varieties of VERRUCOSUM. And yeah, it's just going to be cool to see them mature and to see if they're actually the type of VERRUCOSUM I think they are. And did I mention that they're velvety? They're very soft and very velvety. I mean, can Can you see why this one is my favorite? And there you have it, guys. That is my entire philodendron collection as of November 2020. I'm sure I will be adding more sometime in the near future because, like I said, I love philodendron and there's still more on my wish list. I hope you all enjoyed. I would love to know what your favorite philodendron is and what's one wishlist philodendron that you have. I hope you all give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you're not already. I will see you all in my next video and I hope you all are staying safe, sane, and healthy. Bye!